I'm going to take a severe pay cut and work my way back up, or I'm going to go to Saudi and make some money. For me personally, I think I'm already ready for a new challenge and the next steps. If I know that a situation is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen how other players have left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make a statement, and it will be from me. This is big news, isn't it? And I suppose the timing of it is interesting as well, Troy. It feels like this is a real line in the sand now for Marcus Rashford. It feels like there's no way back now really for him and Manchester United. Were you surprised to see him come out and make a statement like that?
Yeah, it's stupid. That's what it is. It's absolutely stupid.
In what way?
You've made it so you're going to have to leave. So you're either going to have to be paid up or someone's going to buy you. But what's the price point? What top team does he go to? Can anyone name one? Who wants him?
At what money? Yeah.
He's made it now, and I thought the manager was really smart by saying, we want to have our best talent, we're trying to help him, hopefully he stays longer. Behind closed doors, we all know get him out of here, but he's made it PC and made it so he can still have a future. What I'm seeing now is a player that is highly inconsistent, highly overpaid for very little output. So we just go through the goals. Because we was having a chat with our producer, as you all know, is a massive Man United fan. He was trying to explain to me why he's good. 2021, 5 goals. 22, 30 goals, career high. 23, 6. This season, 7. Would you pay nearly $500,000 a week for that?
I don't have the money. I wouldn't pay at all. But no, I understand what you're saying. I think he's a really good piece. I think he's a high talented player. I think that he's, I don't want to say luxury, but he's not someone you build a team around. He's not someone that you, I don't know, go back on your word or bow down to
but where
to
did
build
it
a team
all go
around.
wrong, though? Because you should think that Marcus Rashford right now, given the Marcus Rashford kind of old when he was playing for England, you would think he should be in his prime right now, Grella.
But sorry to interrupt. No, he does moments. You can't tell me a full season that Marcus Rashford had. You can never tell me it's moments.
He spoke in that interview. New heights than this, though. You didn't think his career would go in this way.
He's 27.
Yeah.
He should be in the peak of his powers.
Right.
And he's acting like a baby. That's what he's doing. He's acting like a baby, and they're all pandered to him. Sorry to cut you, Nico.
Yeah, no,
over years, 5-6 years, Man United have pandered to this guy. And now, all of a sudden, when it's getting a bit difficult, and they're expecting and they're wanting a return on their money, he wants to leave. That's not good enough. So for me, I like Marcus, I know him personally. You're acting like a baby.
But what would you want him to do? Because
I would want him to shut up, get on with your football, and every time he scores and proves people wrong, he should hopefully turn around to me and go, told you. But what happens is now, they've been pandered to, everyone's told him he's great since he was a kid. Now it's getting difficult. I think I'm ready to leave. This guy will be the next Dele Alli. In 2 years' time, you won't even remember him.
But how did it get this bad, is my question.
It's his fault. It's his fault. He allowed it to get this bad. He allowed all the outside noise to affect what he did on a football pitch.
And I feel like the breakup is even that much more difficult because he's United born and bred, right? And now when the situation is not working, now when he's finally realized, because maybe he should have made the move a little bit earlier, but he wanted to prove to himself that, no, I could be United's guy, especially in this tumultuous time of Manchester United where they're just churning managers and they're changing concepts. And he's giving an interview with, it almost feels from the outside that there's a certain entitlement about how they should respect him, as if he's scoring 30 goals every single season.
Can I ask you a question?
He's not.
He leaves this summer. Is he a Man United legend?
No.
No.
He's a Manchester legend.
I'm going to say this, though. We also don't know exactly what's going on. And as a player that when sometimes you're maybe misunderstood or think about where the club's direction has been. The club's direction has been, we're going to go this way. We're going to invest this money. This is what we're doing. Oh, no, we're not doing it this way anymore. We're going to bring in a new manager. We're going to invest in different players. We're going to play this style. And it's constantly changing.
I agree. Like he has been out of favour with all of these
But there's so many mistakes and so many things going on in the club at the highest levels. And a lot of that is pouring down onto his plate as well. And so you don't know every single day what he has to go through and how it's affected his career and his personal life.
Argument to that. Don't keep signing contracts. Get out of it.
Exactly. I agree.
You can't have it all your way when it's, this is terrible, pay me. I agree. This is awful, I'm not performing, pay me.
I agree. I could see both ways.
I get it.
And he's a classy gentleman. but I don't think giving that interview and creating all of this noise and rumble around United, especially now, was a classy move, because he understands the history of United. If there's anybody in this squad that understands the history of Manchester United and the standard at which it was held for so long, maybe he didn't play on the teams that were ultimately so successful on English stage, on a European stage, but he knows well. And if your final breakup, if your moment of parting with Manchester United, of drawing that line in the sand is going to be like this, at least go out in a classy way. Like you said, talk on the pitch, like he almost has for so many years, or tried to, scored the goals, and then in the summer make a move.
Do you think we've seen him play his last game in a Manchester United shirt?
Absolutely.
But yeah, there's going to be no more from him.
But this is the thing that we're all missing, the timing of this. He got the first 2 weeks under Amorim, he scored 3 and 2. And everyone was, oh my God, Marcus Rashford's back. Something's happened where him and Garnacho both got left out of the squad. I want to leave. Why are we just skipping past that? Because there was no problems 2 weeks ago. But now the first time someone said, no, these are the standards, this is what needs to be expected, he spits his toys out the pram like a baby. I got a 5-year-old that does the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we don't know every single detail, every single conversation of what happened and what led to it.
Is there a world where they have to play him to get his stock up to be able to get a sale, or do you think that they're willing to just cut
No, because he's
cost?
done enough sample size for people to know who and what he is. He's very fast, very talented. Can he score? Yes, he can. You have to pander to him and give him everything he wants, and then he'll potentially perform if he can be bothered or not. But the biggest problem is, at that price point, where is he going? You're talking Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, Bayern Munich. Who's Chelsea?
I mean, Saudi Arabia is the only option on the financial
Then you're
scale,
out of context.
Right?
It's
at 27.
Out of the consideration at 27 for England. You want to return to England? Don't go to Saudi.
But again, you don't know. We don't know his ambition.
That's true. And if he wants to go to Saudi, he can go to Saudi.
What would you do, Troy, if you were Marcus Rashford? Would you be now looking at your next steps to think, yeah, I'm going to take a severe pay cut and work my way back up, or I'm going to go to Saudi and make some money?
Because there's ego involved, right? When you get used to a certain level of money, as Mike knows, how much he gets paid here.
I don't know.
You don't go elsewhere. You get paid right. But my point is, when you, in all seriousness, I find it difficult to talk about people like him. And what I mean by that is, I wasn't the best footballer, but I squeezed everything out of the orange to get to from where I was to what I did in my career. At 27 years old, and this is genuinely now, this is my honest opinion, a heartfelt opinion. At 27 years old, if he thinks he's given everything and he can look himself in the mirror and not have any issues afterwards, for his mental health, I genuinely think he's going to have problems and regrets that he's going to live for the rest of his life. I'm 36 years old. You've retired as well. You can retire comfortably knowing you gave everything and it just didn't work out. That's fine. I give everything. At 27, being at Man United in England, and in 2-3 years' time having to look yourself in the mirror and say, hold on a second, what if? That's a real big thing to carry around.
But that's the question. It just seems so surprising that's kind of the response that you think about when you think about Marcus Rashford, because on the other side of that, it's hard not to take into account the person that he is off the pitch. I mean, in COVID, we saw what he did for the country. He united everybody. He did so much for kids in school. He's always been one of the leaders.
But that's one thing.
Yeah, but that's why I find it difficult to kind of accept these two personalities.
No, I don't, because I think you can be two different people. Who we are on screen versus who we are off screen is completely different. He can do whatever he wants in the community and have all of these wonderful charitable things. That's fine. We are talking specifically to football. What are you known for? What put you in the position to do all of those things? Football, playing for Man United, playing for England. But now you're going to be in a situation in, I promise you, 2 to 3 years' time, where he's literally going to be like,
do you think he just lost the love of the game?
Well, then leave. Don't sign new deals.
No, maybe I think in his mind, growing up Manchester United, born and bred, you had a certain ambition that you wanted goals to hit with this club, with this historic club that saw you grow, and you're not hitting them. This is a junction point in his career, because You can remake your career. He's 27 years old. I don't think he's lost the love for the game. I think he's just extremely frustrated that his career at Manchester United didn't pan out to what everybody thought it could be. Because he could have been, we could be talking about world class, putting United on his shoulders, winning trophies, and that's not the reality of Manchester United at the moment. And maybe that's not his reality in the context of every single player, like you say, Grella. It's very difficult because it's a club that I feel is like constantly in turmoil. Right now is when he needs to make the right decision for his career.
Everyone that he came underneath, he's the last of the Sir Alex Ferguson. Everyone he came underneath, all the legends, Rooney, whoever you want to go through. What did they all do? Continually perform year in, year out. So what I think's happened, what's happened with a lot of young players, and you know this just as well as me, they're in a position where they think, this is great, and then the harsh truth hits. Whoa, actually, this is quite difficult. And every time in his career, whenever it's got difficult, a manager gets sacked, and then suddenly he does well again. He has a difficult moment for England, if you remember, in the Euros. He had the game against France where he hit the free kick, went over, didn't really get played. Everyone was like, oh my God, he should play. He comes back as the best half season of his career. He always does it. He has an up and he has a big down. Then he has an up. That's not the reality of life.
Just very quickly, has Ruben Amorim managed this in the best way he possibly could, do you think, with leaving him out of the squad and then saying, kind of protecting him as much as he could in the media right now?
But he hasn't hung him out to dry. He just said he was dropped, Garnacho was dropped. He even bought Johnny Evans, was dropped. They were training the next day. I went in with them. And we've both been in the bomb squad. Like, when your manager's not there, that's the worst feeling ever. You're training, you're outside, you don't want to be there, and he's not there. At least he was there, and he's not hung him out to dry in the press. I think he's handled it excellently.
In the press conference, they brought that up, and he said, you want a new challenge? We have a new challenge here. We're all under a new challenge.
He made it seem like, he's still part of our plans, isn't it? So it'll be interesting to see, obviously, what happens. And with Manchester United, as well as just a reminder that they will play Tottenham tomorrow away from home in the Carabao Cup, 3 o'clock Eastern. That game is...